Hey, it's Soul with another video. If you're new here, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel just in case what you're about to watch doesn't suck. Today we're going to cover what has quickly become one of the biggest conversations to date since the flying debate. Portals, or the incoming loss of portals in the World of Warcraft. Not everyone reads up and comments on Wowhead, but when you see like this many comments and the topic isn't a free giveaway, there's something fierce going on in this thread. Seriously, I mean, take a look. There's an actual giveaway thread there, and here's the conversation thread. It's pretty crazy. The upcoming patch 8.15 will introduce portal rooms to conveniently transport players to a number of locations based on WoW's many expansions. I covered this in a brief video a while back, not knowing the sleeping beast that I was poking at. That's because with the portal room coming, many existing portals are being removed from other locations throughout the game, and this will no doubt affect virtually all players. So I'm going to go over really quick what's going to happen in 8.15, talk about the arguments for and against this huge change, and then I'm going to give my 7 cents on it because, you know, that's what I do. So, we're getting a portal in 8.15. This room will take us to the following locations depending on your faction. Dalaran in Crystal Song Forest, Silvermoon or the Exodar, Shatrath, Ashran, Azuna, Zuldazar or Borealis, and the Jade Forest. Portals are going to go away from certain locations and hubs. Notably, the Broken Isles version of Dalaran isn't only ditching portals to the other major cities, but the portals in the portrait room down here are going away as well. That means convenient portals like the ones to Karazhan or Dalaran Crater will be gone, unless you happen to be on a quest that specifically tells you to take one of these portals, and then they'll just appear temporarily. Overall, it's a buff to Orgrimmar and Stormwind as places to gather for people, and a near mortal blow to Dalaran. I also want to point out that the Wowhead article that talks about these portal changes mentions being able to talk to an NPC here who can take you to the Blasted Lands. However, during my testing and as of this recording, this NPC didn't offer to take me anywhere, so maybe I missed something. Anyway, let's start off with the most recent response that supports or defends this change. The portal room makes the travel process a little bit less confusing, at least once you get yourself reaccustomed to the changes. The portals that take you to the Jade Forest or Dalaran or the other Dalaran, they're a little confusing and far apart from each other. This simply consolidates the portals into one spot. And as for portals disappearing, well, some would say that travel is already really convenient, and it doesn't take very long to get to places like Blackrock Mountain. You just need to take that Blasted Lands teleport, wherever that is, and then fly the extra couple of seconds. Because the alternative would be to, say, teleport to Dalaran and go through a load screen, then you take a portal to Karazhan and go through a second load screen, and then head over to your destination. But a lot of people are not fans of this upcoming change. And once again, I'll sum it up to the most well-reasoned argument that I've read. Many are saying that portals are not a broken system, so why cause the friction in the first place? The game functions just fine, players are just used to it. This in fact runs a super close parallel to flying, that Blizzard gave us something and then took it away because supposedly they want the world to feel big, when instead it just feels less convenient. So here's what I think. And as usual, I'm kind of all over the place, but I'll start off with this summary. Blizzard just damned themselves early on, and there's really no way out for them. When it comes to the world, in the World of Warcraft, there are two kinds of big. The first kind of big is just the sheer travel distance from one place to another. I'm not going to get too much into it here, but I think I could successfully argue that WoW felt like its biggest when it was in fact its smallest back in vanilla. Back then, we didn't have the numerous portals, the NPC teleports, and the flight paths that we enjoy today. It straight up took a long-ass time to get to the places that we wanted to go, and some of us were stuck with 60% run speed mounts the whole way through. However, vanilla WoW wasn't very big either because you can come to a certain point where you just ran out of reasons to travel to so many locations. Only a handful of these places felt relevant to your needs. Today's World of Warcraft is much bigger. It is the sum of every expansion. But thanks to portals, special rings, and tabards, and wormholes, the world feels quite small because many locations are just a teleport and a flight point away. At the same time though, there's multiple continents and dungeons and raids worth of old content to go through. Sometimes current quests do ask us to travel to these old locations. So going to these places is much less tedious than it was in the past. However, there are a lot of different places to go, and only so much time on our hands. This is one of many situations where Blizzard did not exercise or think about a long-term vision that resulted in spoiling us with these so-called conveniences. But are they conveniences though? I don't think so. I think at this point they're simply a way of life in the World of Warcraft. There woulda, coulda, shoulda been actions taken early on to reduce the friction that these portal nerfs are going to cause. This thought might be pretty extreme, and fortunately for many of you, it's way too late for any of this, but maybe there shouldn't have been so many kinds of portals and teleports at all in the World of Warcraft, except for obvious ones like traveling to AU Draenor. If that were the case, mages would have made a killing, and yeah, the world would feel a bit more alive with antics on boats leading to Borealis or Dazar Lore. I mean, come on, how many Horde even know about this boat on the docks of Dazar Lore? And how many of you even know that it takes you to the Echo Isles? Probably very few, given that we can just teleport back and forth much faster. I'd bet money that if there were never any portal hubs like the Shrine or Dalaran, if players were just used to taking boats and zeppelins and paying up the ass for mage portals, the game wouldn't feel any more or less broken than some would argue today. I actually think it'd be pretty cool, going back to the days when we'd crowd boats or we'd have some like world PvP action going on them. But ultimately, we can't change the past, we just try to manage the present, and come on, it's 2019, these sorts of travel, these teleports, it's just standard these days. The debate over portals is of Blizzard's own doing because they're dialing back on a convenience that they themselves created. And we're about to go through a really rough transition in the middle of an expansion. Many players feel angry about the path of least resistance being compromised, and I don't blame them. I'm going to leave you all with a simple suggestion for Blizzard in the future to at least consider. Just leave the Dalaran portals alone. I think that they're fine the way they are. But as a small compromise, and by the way, I'm speaking for myself here folks, feel free to hate on this idea all you want, but I say go ahead and nerf the extra Hearthstones that we have, like give them a longer cooldown. They can explain this away by saying the space-time barrier to return to our garrison in Draenor is unstable, or the Dalaran Hearthstone is no longer as potent as it used to be, or something. It maintains the convenience of travel, but it puts up a softer wall instead of just eliminating that as an option entirely. So that's all I've got to say about it. Leave your thoughts and hopes that Blizzard hears you. Hit that like or dislike button and make yourself heard in a comment. Until next time folks, stay safe, stay happy, and stay breezy.